adversity. If you're scared of adversity, you will always fall victim to it. But if you don't fear adversity and you understand that all throughout life you will have problems. If you ever meet someone and say they don't have a problem, get away from them. Because the reality is if you don't have a problem, you don't have a promise of a better tomorrow. Now when I used to have to deal with the anxiety and the pressure, every time I had a problem, I would start, I gotta go through this, I gotta go again, I gotta go through this, I feel like dealing with it. It seems like every time I turn around, I got a problem I gotta deal with. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the street, whether it's at home, I always got a problem. And I used to run from my problem. I used to run away from my problem. But in order to become a man, I had to learn how to fall in love with adversity and stay away from controversy. As long as I fall in love with adversity and I know how to teach me how to overcome it, then I grow up, I don't grow old. That's what I was talking about in there. The only way you can grow up is if you have problems. A person without problems will never grow up because they'll never face the problem. So anybody that you meet to say they don't have a problem, they're lying. Because everybody in the world got a problem. The problem is they don't see the problem, so they run from it. So when you see them 20 years from now, they'll still be in the same spot you left them. The reality is you'll be happy you received your problems and made a promise. That's the difference in how you deal with that person. Who's next?
Alright, so I'm gonna consider and Arthur project is about homelessness. So
Yeah.
I was saying, like what we're gonna do about the homeless people in downtown.
Yeah,
I
that-
feel like you can't be in downtown more than an hour without seeing like some, I don't mean to be rude, crackhead.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing.
Okay, so let me answer that. So one is that you have to treat everybody with dignity, right? They don't want to be homeless, but you gotta understand 80% of the homelessness is caused from mental health and drug addiction. The reality is that I wish we control what they call health and human service dollars, because then I can direct the dollars that go towards the homeless, but I don't control it. The Allegheny County controls it. Like I don't control Schumann Center, Allegheny County controls it. Like I don't control the jail, Allegheny County controls it. So what we did for when regards to homeless is that we found other locations that we can be able to help them move into ideal situations, because the church that we had downtown that was housing a lot of our homeless wasn't built to be a homeless shelter, because it's a church. So they had to lay down in the basement on a cot with all their belongings, and then at 7 o'clock in the morning they were told to get out. You understand what I'm saying? And they had to take all their belongings. To me, that's traumatic, because not only are you kicking me out at 7 in the morning, I gotta stand in line for hours in order to get back in, and if I'm not one of those numbers by a certain percentage, by a certain hour, I don't get back in. So we created 4 new locations to be able to put some of the homeless working with the county. We also know that we need a day center, so that when the homeless get out, like you go to school or you go to a structured activity, you heard me say, if you're not in a structured activity, then you just go like a wildflower, you go chaotic. But we want to do a structure that when they leave out in the morning, they have a place to go. So we should have a day center to where they can get a hot meal, take a shower, get a change of clothes, and get the services that they need. So that's one way we try to deal with the homeless. That's really take 5-6 years. But you're going to see homeless from here on out, because through the years we try to put it under the carpet so no one can see it. The pandemic said I'm going to show everybody the vulnerability that's created in this homeless population. The second thing that we got to do in regards to the homeless population is we also got to remember that we have some veterans that never want to live inside. Whatever happened overseas, they can't live inside no more because they get PTSD and they have attacks because of what happened overseas, whether it was bombing, whether it was a shooting or whatever. Whatever happened inside that building, they can no longer stay in the building. Like someone can only be in the building for 5 minutes before they'll go crazy. Not a negative, it's just whatever. I mean, look, you got war overseas, you don't know what you're gonna see. You're gonna see your best friend, you're gonna see a lot. And they come home, they messed up. You know, and I don't think that we put enough money for our veterans out there to really help them out. Because I can only imagine at 18 they go to war and have to see all that. Like that's traumatic. And you constantly living and you don't know what's going to happen. That's why I always tell the people that was in the military how much I appreciate it. Because they put it on the line every day. They put it on the line every single day. Other than that, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have. And more importantly, African Americans had to do it at a time where they were getting the most craziest assignments. Because they wasn't wanted in the military. So they had to go to some of the most dangerous areas and make it happen. That's what I'm saying. Our adversity is so powerful. We've been overcoming adversity since we got here. That's what I'm saying. Don't fall into the trap of asking yourself why you're going through that. Thank God you're going through something you can get knowledge from.
Since you're in office, like, what's your goals that you want to accomplish?
I want to make it a safe city, a more welcoming city.
I was
and a
wondering that
thriving
also.
city. So what I mean safe is that I'm driven to reduce. I'm driven to reduce gun violence. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, you know, my sister was murdered in 2016.
Really?
I don't believe that we should be out there killing each other.
I
And
agree.
I believe it takes a weak mind
I
when
agree.
you kill somebody, to be honest. I believe it takes a weak mind. And so for me, it's all about how do we let our young people know that being tough ain't the answer. Growing up is. Like, tough people don't grow up, they grow old. What I'm trying to get you to see is that I want you to put the guns down and pick up a book, pick up knowledge. And more importantly, like, you know, we owe it to our moms and dads. Like, our moms and dads, and I come from a single mom, they didn't, you know, they don't struggle as hard as we do, as they do, for us to go out here and act like fools. I don't ever want to repay my mother like that. I mean, if you got a mother, you think about it. Think about your mom. Huh? When your mom hurt, do you hurt? Why would you want to put your mom through pain? When your mother hurt, do you hurt? Huh? How much your mama do for you?
Yeah.
And all she wants you to do is grow up and do better than what she did. But we want to pick up a gun because we want to choose the streets over our own life. We'll sacrifice the love of a mother for a love of a weapon. Tell me what sense that makes.
No sense.
Tell me. Tell me where that became thorough and cool. That you will put your mother through that type of pain. My agenda is to drive down gun violence. My agenda is to make this a welcoming city where everybody feels welcome. For so many years, this city's been siloed by racism and segregation. You know exactly what neighborhood you're in because we don't have a black or Latino middle class neighborhood. Every neighborhood that look like me is in poverty. Everyone. It ain't gotta be that way. That's what I'm saying. Y'all make the difference. You make the difference. If you select the streets over your own life, I can't do nothing for you. But if you want to select your life over the streets, I got an opportunity for you. Who else got one?
So, as a person of African,
In order to deal with that, you got to give them a new reality, right? So what do I mean by new reality? So I'm for sure. When I was coming up, right, I worked for my first mayor, and I'm using this to show you what I'm talking about. So the job called for the person who was going to get that job to make $56,000. But they only gave it to me for $53,000. So even though the job offered $56,000, they didn't feel I was worthy to get $56,000. So they gave me $53,000. The people said, "Hey, why would you take a $3,000 cut? Like, what's up?" Because I understood that they discounted me, but I never discounted me. See, I'm gonna go get that knowledge because, see, check this out, it ain't the money that's important to me, it's the knowledge. Once I know how to do it, I can make money all day long, but you gotta give me an opportunity to get in. So that's why when I came in, I created the most diverse administration ever to show this city. Don't tell me you can't find blacks that's not qualified. Tell me you're not looking because you ain't interested in whether I have a job or not. So now that I've been created the most diverse administration in history, when I go top to corporate Pittsburgh, I can go in a boardroom and I can tell them they're not ready for globalization. They're not ready to expand. Because if the only thing I can do is when I walk into your boardroom or your executive management team and see white people and I don't see me, I'm not your interested in globalization where the world is getting black and brown. For me not to be at your board level, for me not to be in your executive management team means you're not ready for them all. So the catch is not for me to worry about how they see me, it's how I define myself. If you give me the ability to go get that knowledge, I'm telling you, I'm a multiplier. Because I understand how you see me. But here's why you can't see me. You can't see me. How you gonna see somebody whose ancestors came over on a boat, daddy was murdered, beaten, mama was raped, kids were sold into slavery? By law, they said you was 3/5 of a man. You had to deal with Jim Crow 1, Jim Crow 2, you okay? She all right? We all right? Oh. Here it is. Set it right here. All right? Is he still out? What do we do? We gotta wait.